So, ever wondered if a Nikon D3300 is still worth buying in 2017 considering its age? Well, in my opinion, yes. I don't think cameras get outdated as fast as smartphones. And yeah, watch this video for an in-depth review of it. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Nikon D3300, which is an entry-level DSLR which Nikon released in 2014. It has 24.2 megapixels, obviously also detachable lenses, all DSLRs have that, and it is the second newest version of the D3000 series. I chose this version over the newest version because all the newest version adds is Wi-Fi, and it removes the microphone jack, which this version has, and because this version is obviously cheaper and the added Wi-Fi didn't convince me to buy the newest version. So I personally would recommend buying this version instead of the D3400, which is the newest version. So the Nikon D3300 takes really good pictures and also quite good video. I'm just going to show you some pictures later on so you can see the picture quality. And I will go through the settings, do a video test, rapid shooting test, go through the different modes, talk about the kit lens, using antique lenses on it, and more. So the Nikon D3300 features detachable lenses, as you can see. You press the button to the right side on the video to detach it. And later on in the video I will go into detail about using antique lenses with it, so lenses that were made for film cameras. They still work, there's just some functions which won't work, which you need to be aware of. So let's go through different modes. So the first mode is auto, which is basically point and shoot mode, sort of, everything automatic. Second is flat auto with no flash, and that's just all the different normal modes, macro and stuff, which is also just normal from a point and shoot, I guess. Then there's effects mode, for which you need to press live view and then scroll with a with a wheel top right corner to go through the different modes. This includes panorama, selective color, and a few others. Yeah, so they're pretty cool to play around with. Then there's manual mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can change everything, the camera won't change it for you. So you can change ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. And then there's also aperture priority, shutter priority, and program mode. Aperture priority is just you change the aperture, the camera changes the rest automatically. Shutter priority, the camera changes you change the shutter manually, the camera changes everything automatically. And program mode is the camera does everything automatically, but you can interfere and override the camera and say what you want. So yeah, those are the different modes. So let's just go through what the different buttons do. This button is the play button to display your pictures. Next button is the menu button. So if you press it, you can go through the camera's menu, just change options, whatever you want, all that stuff. There's quite a few of them. You can also correct your images, do some basic image editing. Then there's the plus and minus keys, which are used for zooming in on pictures. And if you're in live view while shooting photos, you can zoom in on the live view, so to see if you're in focus, to make sure everything's focused correctly. Yeah, so basically if you're mainly for manual focus, you can see a bit more detail to make sure you're focused like exactly how you want it to be. So if live view isn't pressed, you just have to look for viewfinder, and live view, you just press that to go into live view to make the image actually go on the display. Then there's the directional arrow keys, then rapid fire button, so to change the fire rate, to make it shoot continuous and stuff. Delete button, you just double press that to delete photos. The I button is when you're in shooting mode, you can change the stuff on the bottom bar, so to go there you press I. And yeah, So to change ISO, you press FN, hold that down, and then rotate with scroll wheel to like the adjustment wheel to change the ISO. So it goes up to 12,800 and down to 100. I don't recommend going over 3,200 as this can introduce a lot of noise into your pictures and they will look bad quality. So to change aperture, you just press the top right button there, hold that down and scroll wheel to change the aperture, so how wide open the lens is. It depends on the lens how wide open it can be. Like one of the old lenses I have can go to 1.8. This one, the kit lens, which is on the camera at the moment, can only go to 3.2. So the smaller the number, the better, because it lets in more light. I will talk about connecting this lens later on the video. So to change the shutter speed, you just simply scroll the wheel without pressing any other buttons. The lowest it goes is time, which is just basically it stays open until you press the shutter again, so open as long as you want. And then it steps up 30 and up, and it goes the fastest it can go is 1/4000th of a second. That's pretty fast, but you need a lot of good light for that because it will make your image very dark. So let's get onto the ports. Here on the left side under this flap there is the Nikon extension port. You can plug in extensions like an external Wi-Fi thing from Nikon, which adds the functionality of the newer one that you can send photos wirelessly to your phone that you take. Then there's the microphone jack, which got removed on the newer version, but I quite like. Then there's the standard AV out plug, just to plug in your cable into your camera into your computer. And then there's the mini HDMI port. And at the bottom there's the battery. And this camera has really good battery life in my opinion, like it's quite good. And that's the battery. 1230 milliamp hours. So yeah, and then on the side there's the SD card slot to plug in the SD card. So I will now show you how to connect the old lenses, like what different things. So that's a lens from a film camera that I had lying around, and I just took it off and put on my camera. The only like necessary thing, it has to be from a Nikon camera, Nikon F mount I think it is, and then you can just connect it to any Nikon camera. This one is AF, and the Nikon D3300 does not have an inbuilt autofocus motor, which means that you can only autofocus on AFS and AFP lenses, not on normal AF lenses, like the old ones, because those do not have their own autofocus motor, so this lens cannot autofocus. So when you connect it, you need to lock the aperture ring at the highest number, so close, and it will push down this little button knob, and sometimes it doesn't do it by itself, so you have to push it down with your finger to just to help it like actually push it down, because sometimes it gets stuck and like doesn't actually push it, and then it'll work as expected. So you just need to, if you don't do that, it'll say lock lens aperture ring at minimum aperture, largest f number, and once you've locked it, everything works fine there. Like you can go into automatic, manual mode, whatever. You just have to adjust the focus manual focus, that's the only thing. But then I have another old lens which doesn't have an inbuilt chip, so the camera doesn't actually recognize it. So on that one, when you connect it, the camera says no lens attached. And you have to switch, which means you have to switch to manual mode to take pictures of it, and you can only take pictures of it in manual mode. And you don't need to lock the aperture ring because you change it on the lens then, because the camera won't change it. So yeah, that's that. So onto a rapid shooting test. It can rapid fire at around 5 FPS is what they say, but I found that it's faster on a manual focus lens than it is on an autofocus lens. It's an autofocus lens, it's like this. Wait. It slows down after a bit because it doesn't have a huge buffer. So it has to actually save those files to an SD card, which takes a bit. While on a manual focus lens, it's like this. So it does seem to slow down more once it slows down, but it seems to be faster and faster for longer in the beginning. So yeah, just keep it in mind. Yeah. So now it's recording. So this is the video test. Just testing the video. This is actually on manual mode, this video at the moment, so I can change the shutter speed and things and ISO to make it dark, bright and dark. So I'm just gonna put it on 400. Looks good. Zoom in. So yeah, this lens, the kit lens, has image stabilization, which stabilizes the image quite a bit. So yeah, pretty good footage. So that was the recording test, and I will show you some photos that I've taken. Okay, so these are the photos. I think they are all pretty good quality. You can make your own judgment on that though, because you can see them right here, so you can decide. And yeah, they're good enough image quality for me. They will hopefully also be for you, but if you need really high quality images, you can look at those and see if it's good enough. If not, you might need to spend a bit more on a better camera. Yeah, so I'll just put on some music while those images play. Most of these photos were taken on the kit lens. My kit lens does have one issue. If you go into manual mode and rotate the focus ring all the way, it goes a bit past infinity. So that's my only issue with it. And it's not as sharp as it could be, but it's sharp enough. Fun fact, part of this video was actually recorded on a bowl. No, not literally a bowl, but my phone was lying on a bowl when I was recording this video. If you want to support my channel and possibly allow me to buy a better setup to record my videos, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, and go to my website. And if you do happen to want to buy a Nikon D3300 or some lenses for it, go on my website, which is qwertypop, yt.jimdo.com, and use the links on that to buy these things, because I get a commission from that, and yeah, that'll allow me to get some money. Yeah, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, yeah, leave a like and subscribe. to my channel if you like what I do, and see you in the next video.